Hi guys, it's Tara and welcome to the Curly Q&A for September of 2016. So as you guys can tell, I'm a little bit behind with this one. I usually aim to get these videos up the first weekend of the new month. However, work got in the way this time. I had a little bit of a work reassignment for the weekend, so I wasn't able to get it posted the weekend, but close enough. I actually was looking, and last month it was August 7th, which must have been the first weekend, so I'm pretty close to right on a month out for these. So, um, anyway, I actually have like a whole bunch of other stuff I need to be doing tonight because I've been out of town for work for a week, but I just couldn't handle not getting on and talking to you guys. I feel like it's been so long since I've really had a chance to do some good crafting and really connect with all my people out there, and I really do miss you guys when I don't get the opportunity to do this for a while. And so I just had to jump on and yammer at y'all for a little while because I just wanted to share. And I've been trying to catch up on my YouTube comments the last week or so. And so I just feel really like energized and excited about talking to you all. So I wanted to hop on and do this video here real quick. So to get started, I'll kind of share what's been going on with me for the last month. And to be 100% honest, I simultaneously feel like I just made the last video and that it's been about 6 years since I made the last Q&A video. So I actually had to look at my Google Calendar and figure out like what the heck have I been doing since August 7th when I made the last one, because it just, I don't know. Like I said, on the one hand, I feel like nothing because I just did it like yesterday. And on the other hand, like everything because it's been forever. So, um, anyway, last time I mentioned the fact that my kiddo was in a theater camp. So we watched her show. She did amazing. She was so great up on stage because she had the most expressive face. So my husband, who teaches theater, he's always talking to her about even if your part is small, you're still in the play. So if you're on stage, you're in character, right? Like, so he's always reiterating, like, even if you don't have a line, that doesn't mean that you're not acting. So if somebody else says something, you have to react, you have to whatever. And so she was in this musical and she was wearing this cute little tropical outfit. I posted some pictures on my Instagram, so I'm sure some of you have seen those. But and she's just like the whole time she's on stage, she's just like she's making all these crazy faces. It was adorable. I like teared up. I get like really overwhelmed with emotion at weird things. Like sometimes like movies almost always make me cry, and just I don't know, random things just totally like they tug at my heartstrings. And just the pride that I had seeing her up there and just how great she, it was just a really cool moment. So I thought I'd follow up with that for you guys because I mentioned her theater camp in the last video. So that is all over with now, and she is back to school. So as I'm sure is happening with a lot of you guys out there, the summer is over. I could not be happier. I love summer. Don't get me wrong. We did so many fun things this summer, but I'm ready to be not so crazy busy, first of all. I'm ready for hubby to start going to bed at the same time as me and waking up in the morning at the same time as me. Because when he's on summer break, it just messes up my sleep schedule. And that's probably super selfish of me, but hey, there it is. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited for fall because hello, it's my like spirit season. It's when I feel the most alive is in the fall. So I'm just excited. Um, Kennedy had a really great first day of school. I got to take her to school this year on her first day, which is the first time that I've had the opportunity to do that since she was in kindergarten. She's usually with her mom on the first day of school, but we've got a little bit of a different schedule going this year, so I had the chance to do that. Took lots of pictures so I could send them to her mom and her dad and everybody and how adorably cute she is. But that was just really cool. Again, one of those emotion moments for me where I just kind of hit me a little bit more than I thought it would, you know. And she's 9, she's in 4th grade, so she could care less that I'm there. Like she's like, you know, the side hug thing, so she's not caught like, you know, hugging her stepmom before she before she goes into class. But just to be able to be in the school for that 3 minutes and drop her off and help her get ready and all that fun stuff. She wore her LuLaRoe outfit because, you know, we're both obsessed. It's the LuLaRoe top for those of you that were wondering. um, but anyway, that was super fun. Sent Ben off to his first day of school as, you know, teacher. So that was fun. he gets just as nervous, I think, as Kennedy does for school to start again. You know, these teachers with their whole summers off, it's kind of funny because they're just like the kids. Or like if there's a snow day, he's probably more excited than she is. So anyway, school is back in full swing, which is awesome, which means that my schedule has changed. My work schedule has now been bumped back a couple hours. So this is my second day of working the 9:30 to 6 shift. So we'll see how that plays out. It's not real yet because I've been out on the fire assignment for work. And so my whole, like, I don't know, I'm so tired, guys. Like, I'm kind of loopy. So if I say something crazy, like, just, disregard. But, so we'll see how the new schedule goes. So this is my first opportunity in the evening that I've been awake enough to come home from work and actually sit down and do something fun in my craft room here, which I've missed dearly. And so I'll keep you all posted on how that new schedule is working out as things progress. It's definitely going to be a time management diligence exercise for me because I've been doing some exercising, which I've gotten off track with also with the whole work assignment thing. But I really want to keep doing that. But I know that if I do it after work now, that means I'm not going to get home till like 8 o'clock, 8:30, and then it's like bedtime in an hour because I need lots of sleep. So I'm trying to be really diligent, and I'm going to try to start waking up in the morning and doing it so that my evenings are reserved for my lovely time with you guys. And, I suppose hubby gets some time in there too. But we'll see how that works out. I'm usually not very good at waking up in the morning to exercise, but I'm going to be good. I'm going to, you guys have to hold me to it, okay? So ask questions about that. What else happened in August? We had the Midsummer Arts Festival, which was way back at the beginning. I don't know if you guys remember. I posted some stuff on Instagram and Facebook about participating in a craft fair. That is the Midsummer Arts Festival that has been going on. This was the 4th year here in town, and one of our family friends, he's the brains behind the whole thing. Super cool festival that's designed to expose members of the community to the arts that are happening in the community. So it has performing arts. It now has, this was the first year that we added the craft fair for the handmade arts. It's got people who paint. There's lots of free activities for kids. It was really cool. It was really, really fun. So I'm just excited to be a part of that, and we're going to continue rolling the craft fair forward. So that makes me happy because that was kind of my little baby this year. I've never really been part of the festival. I've always kind of been there on the outskirts because my husband's on the board. But this year I got involved with the craft fair, and so I'm excited to see that continue to grow as the future goes forward, as the future will do. That was a funny sentence. That's one of those loopy things I was talking to you guys about. I haven't had enough sleep, so I got new glasses this month, so that was exciting. Haven't had new glasses in like 3 years, so I went with something totally different and fun, and I don't know, they remind me of Janine from Ghostbusters, which is one of my favorite movies, so I'm totally fine with that. Moving right along, I kind of went into it a little bit on one of my videos last week as far as where I was this week with work, but for those of you that missed that, I'll just share I work for the Oregon Department of Forestry, and this is my other life, right, when I'm not crafting. And so during the summer is fire season, right? So it's wildfire season, and we've actually had, knock on wood, a pretty calm fire season this year. The last couple years, the 13, 14, and 15 seasons were all really, really big, really hectic, lots of fires happening. But this year it has kind of swung the other direction, which is amazing and great. Like, we don't want our state's forests to be burning, but every year since I've worked for the agency, which this is my 3rd fire season now, I have contributed not necessarily by going to the fires, but by being on payment teams, which is what happens after the fire's over. We got to pay all the contractors that work on the fire. We got to pay for all the use of things like porta potties and copy trailers and all that jazz while the fire was going. So I tend to go out on the payment team. So I got called down to Medford, and I live up in the Willamette Valley. So for those of you that aren't familiar with Oregon, that's about a 3.5 to 4 hour drive away, just depending on what is happening with traffic. So I went down there last Tuesday thinking I was going to be on a payment team, and while I was driving down there, another fire broke out down there, and so I ended up getting to help out with some of the timekeeping and the fire stuff that they do. I won't get into the weeds on what that entails for you guys, but the point is it was a really cool experience because I thought I was going to do something that I've done before, and got to be exposed to something that I've never done, learned some new things, had a great time with some great people. The downside to it was that we were working 16-hour days, so totally fine. I'm not complaining. I'm just a wuss in that I've never done 16-hour days, so I'm sleepy. Like, I have so much respect for the people that are out on fires, like, for long stretches of time. I mean, my boss was telling me when I got back to work that he's done like a 24-day fire. You're talking 16-hour days and then sleeping in a tent at fire camp afterwards for 24 days straight. Like, oh my goodness, I'm loopy after 5 days. So I was down there from last Tuesday through, I just got back on Monday, and then I went back to work yesterday. So, I'm excited for this weekend is basically how that goes, but it's pretty cool. I'm really lucky to be a part of an agency that has so much passion for what they do. You talk to some of these people that fight the fires, and that's another thing that I love is that I work at essentially what amounts to the corporate office for our agency. I work, at kind of central, and so there's offices all throughout the state, and they're the ones that really are on the ground fighting the fires, doing the work, interacting with the community, with the stakeholders, landowners, all that jazz. And so for me, working at corporate, I don't often get exposed to all of that stuff. And so I love going out in the field and meeting the people that are doing the jobs, and it's just so cool. There's so much passion for the natural resources in our state, so much passion for the forests in our state, the recreation. I mean, it's just amazing. And I just feel really cool to be working at a place where I feel like I'm contributing to something that matters, which is really neat, right? And that's what I feel like the crafting is too. Like it matters for reasons beyond, oh, this is a pretty card. I just think that it feeds your soul, and that's kind of I finally found a job that feeds my soul. And it's not necessarily that working with the budget all day feeds my soul. I mean, I love it. I'm a total numbers nerd, but just being at a place that matters, that has the commitment and the passion and the family feel, it's just really cool. So anyway, enough about that. Let's talk about what's happening in Craftland in September. So I think September is going to pretty much be covered in fall. I've been slowly trying to ease in my fall projects and my fall cards so as not to overwhelm those of you that wanted to hang on to the last vestiges of summer. But now that September's here, I feel like I have full leave to just fall all over everything. So that's my plan, is to basically make fall cards. I've got the new Lawn Fawn fall release. I've got the new My Favorite Things fall release. I've got some fabulous Gertis Iron Designs fall release. Meow Studio. I'm getting Christmas stuff already. I got Halloween stuff to do. I mean, I'm ready. I'm ready for the fall winter season to begin. So expect lots and lots of fall cards in September. And I'm also going to be doing a guest spot with the Greeting Farm, so I'm super excited about that. I'll be making a couple videos for them, and that'll start sometime this month, still kind of ironing out the details. I've got kind of a big thing in the works, and I'm not going to give you guys too much yet because I don't really know all the details yet on what the timeline is going to be on that, but just know there's a big thing in the works. And I'll let you know more when I know more. But it's exciting. It's a big, exciting thing. So let's see what else is going on. There's going to be a big, giant Destash soon. Probably in the next couple days. By the weekend at the latest. So if you're interested in getting some gently loved, need some new love supplies, keep an eye out for that. Because I've had stuff up on my blog. And I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to keep doing that. I think I will maybe in between Destashes, but my original plan was to do away with these Destash videos because they are just hectic as all get out. But I'm realizing that I'm not getting a lot of comments on the blog, and there's some really good fall and Halloween stuff up there. So I don't think it's because people aren't interested. I think it's just because nobody knows to go there. So I'm toying with the idea of getting an Instagram account started for the sole purpose of destashing, but I'm just, because I work full time, trying to manage all the different social media things gets a little daunting sometimes. So I'm kind of I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to do that yet, but in the meantime, I'm going to stick with what I know works, and I know that y'all like the videos for destashes, so I'm going to do a destash video. When I do that, I'm going to take the page down off my blog so that I don't get any double, claims. I don't want to accidentally overpromise anything for anybody. I don't want anyone to miss out. And so I'll take that down, and then when the destash video chaos dies down, I'll repost whatever's left on my blog so that those of you who want to kind of shop there in between destashes can do that. My plan for fall is to like mass produce a bunch of fall cards and then try to turn around and get the stamp sets that I'm then going to sell up as soon as possible for you guys so that you can get them in time to do some fall crafting with those fall sets. So first I got to get my booty in gear and make all my fall cards with my sets so that I can turn around and spread the love of these stamp sets to all of you. So destash is coming. In that same vein of planning ahead and getting some of my stash moving out the door here is that my Handmade Halloween series is coming, and I'm so excited. So the Handmade Halloween series kind of happened by accident last year. So I started my channel in June, and then I did my Handmade Halloween series in like late September, early October. So it was pretty new. Like the videos was a new thing for me, and I just kind of decided to do this series, and everybody seemed to really like it. So I'm definitely going to bring it back this year. So I'm going to do 5 Halloween videos. I'm probably going to start around the end of September, beginning of October. So this may be an October announcement, but it could be a September one. So I wanted to throw it in here just in case. And do those. So if you have any specific stamp sets, techniques, something you'd like to see, I haven't started filming that quite yet. So let me know. But I'm going to start filming soon so that I can be on top of it for you guys, because then right after that starts my handmade holiday series for the 12 Days of Christmas cards. So this is like the time of year where I have to actually be planning ahead, which I'm really good at doing on paper, but executing, it gets touch and go, guys. So, so anyway, so let's get to your questions. And I'll be honest, most of the questions that I got this time were about my video process and kind of how that works, because I shared quite a bit of that in my August video. And so you guys had lots of really great follow-up questions, and I'm still planning on doing a video series with my videoing. I'll just be 100% honest, I have not had time yet. So I tried to get on and answer your guys' specific questions as best I could, as far as, there were some questions about how I do voiceovers and some questions on just like logistics of, where my phone is plugged in while I'm filming and all that kind of jazz. So check the answers to the comments if you asked me a question regarding filming. And if my answer didn't fully answer your question, or you thought of more questions, just leave me another comment or shoot me an email, curlycues@gmail.com. Anytime you can shoot me an email and I'll get back to you. But as far as other questions that didn't relate to filming, I didn't get that many this month. So hopefully not talking about videos the whole time this time will prompt some more questions from you guys. But I did get a couple, so I wanted to address, someone asked me what my favorite coloring medium was. And so, gosh, it's a hard question because coloring is my favorite coloring medium. I pretty much will try any kind of color, and it really just depends on when you catch me. Like, I just did a card that's Prismacolors on craft, so like my first instinct is to be like, well, Prismacolors, because that's like what I just did and what I'm all excited about. And for a long while there, it was my zigs. Like, that was all I was coloring with were my zigs. And then there's your trusty Copics that are just there all the time, right? Gosh, my favorite, probably, like, if I was forced to get rid of all of my coloring mediums and only keep one thing, it would probably be my Copics, which is probably a pretty boring answer because everybody loves their Copics, but they really do just, I mean, you can use them kind of for all different kinds of projects. Like, you don't need super fancy paper. You can just use your Nina's. You can just get your one black ink pad and be good to go. And they just make things look so cool. Like, I don't know, you don't even have to have that high of a skill level, and your Copics look amazing when you're done coloring. So they are probably definitely my favorites. And my zig markers are up there. I love my zigs. Like, they are definitely my watercolor medium of choice because, frankly, I love to watercolor, but I'm way too lazy to go get like water and brushes and clean water, and like, anytime I start to think of a card design and I'm like, oh, it'd be so great to watercolor, I kind of just like make a lazy face and think about all the stuff I have to gather to do that and the cleanup afterwards. And I'm just like, or I could just use my Zig markers and get a watercolor look and not have to get any of that stuff out. And that's usually what I end up doing. So Zigs are definitely up there. The problem with asking a question like, what's your favorite coloring medium? Just like I had somebody ask me recently, what kind of markers could I start out with if I'm wanting to start with some markers? And it's just, every single thing is so different. And that's a total bummer because that means we have to have it all, right? But it's also really cool because there's just so many different styles and you can totally find a product that is like your product, like your thing that you love. But I mean, trying to compare coloring with Copics to coloring with Prismacolors is just apples and oranges to me. I can't even fathom not having one or the other. I started crafting with only Prismacolors. I had like a 12 pack of Prismacolors and that was it. And so those really got me through. I feel like they're pretty forgiving, especially if you do like the Gamsol technique. Like you can't really mess that up in my opinion. Which is super nice, and they're affordable. Like you can go to Walmart and buy Prismacolor pencils, which is really nice. So I didn't answer your question. I totally just like, talked in circles about how I love all of the coloring things, which is very, very true. But probably my Prismacolors, Zigs, and Copics are definitely at the top of my list. I do like to watercolor and such, and I have some fun like watercolors and that kind of thing, but in a pinch, if I'm trying to, if I'm just not even thinking about it and I'm just like, oh, I need to color this image, I will reach for my Copics first almost every time. To me, those are just the basic. Those are the every occasion coloring medium. And then if I'm going to use my Prismas, I kind of plan ahead for that. Like, and then Zigs, you kind of got to plan ahead a little bit because you got to use the right paper and all that jazz. But Copics is just my go-tos. But I love them all. I do. I just love to color. It's just, it's my favorite. So, well, guys, that was it for my video. And I just feel like this huge amount of relief at having gotten to chat with you guys for a little bit because I've missed you all. I've missed you all. I was away. And I promise that next time I come back, I will be less loopy. Actually, that's not 100% true because after this, I'm totally going to edit and do a voiceover for the video that will be up on my blog tomorrow for Mail Studio. So I'll probably be just as loopy in that one. But after that, I promise I'll try not to be loopy anymore. So thank you guys so much for joining me. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and then I will get to them for the, October Curly Q&A already. So any kind of question you can think of, if you have a question on products, techniques, my personal life, LuLaRoe, just whatever you can think of. I'm totally up for chatting about anything. So I hope to see you guys soon and have a fantastic September. Thanks. Bye.